Hi everybody, hello, welcome. Okay, so that paper that I made last night, I just have been staring at it and thinking, what can I make with it? And I had a quick look at Pinterest. Pinterest finally worked for me today. I just had to restart my computer. If you ever have that with your computer, it starts to go a bit weird. It's probably because it needs a restart. Anyway, thought I'd make something with it. Anyway, hello, a very quick hello to everybody on the live. Hello if you're watching this on the replay. Is it spring yet? I can see someone asking. Hi Gina. I have some little daffodils. I've got the little narcissi, I think they're called narcissi daffodils. Little tiny weeny ones out in my garden currently. So spring is on its way, I think. It's definitely not as cold as it has been. I've been able to be in here without my heater on occasionally. So I might actually switch it off in a second. Hi Shaz, great to see you. Who else is on here? Hello Miss Vicky and Cheryl. If you have any friends that you think would like to join, just go invite them now. Hi Mary, great to see you. Oh, thank you Gina. It's not as much hair as I used to have, unfortunately. It's much thinner, as in not as much hair. I've had a lot of it fall out, so it got washed today. That's why I'm showing it off. That's why it is. You have a crocus. Nice. Very nice. Okay. I'm going to go straight to desk because I've got a lot to get done today. I've got a little plan. I've already been sketching out and trying to draw out my plan here on my grid paper. That's what the grid paper is super useful for that, actually. Yeah, it's a good way to sort of plan things out a bit. Okay. Right. And autumn's arriving in Down Under. I know. Crazy. Okay, so I'm going to cut my cardstock. Not cardstock, grey board. This is packaging. I like to upcycle packaging. I haven't actually bought grey board for a number of years because I just use what my papers come in. So I'm going to cut that to 20 centimetres and I'm hoping my blade is long enough to get through most of that. Yeah, look, it snaps. That's kind of cool. It's not actually super thick, this one. It's probably 1.5 millimetres. Right, now I don't need that open. And I need to cut this at, I need 2 of these at 7 centimetres. I'm just actually going to flip it around. Well, I'm just going to get rid of, hold on, what am I doing? No, do it this way around. Cut this at 7. And I need 2 of those. So I'm going to go 7, 7. So that's 14. Snap that off, and then I think 2.5 is going to be enough for a spine. And it's hard to tell because I've got a bit of texture on the sides there. Okay, there we go. So is Lisa on here yet? I've only got one person booked onto the cross stamping on Friday, and I think I might go ahead and either postpone it or cancel it because I've potentially got an important meeting on Friday on Zoom. So as there's only one person booked onto it, unless suddenly 5 of you are going to say, yes, I'm going to do that one, I think I may have to postpone it. Did I just see Karen? Oh, Karen's just booked onto Fridays. Dumb. No, that's good, Karen. That's good. All right, so I need a few more people to book onto Friday for it to be viable. Otherwise, I'll have to give your money back, Karen. Silk painting is on, not silk painting, faux silk painting. What day is that one now? Have you just shared it? I think you did just share it, didn't you, Vicky? Faux silk paintings on Friday the 13th of March. Okay, yes, I can see. I can see you've just booked on that one. Oh, so hold on, Karen. Have you just booked on to the 13th? Ah, not this Friday. This Friday the 7th. No, no, no. The silk one. Okay, that's fine. No, Vicky, please don't book on. I really could do with postponing that one. Yeah, I'm not going to run it just for 2. Which one is the one that you need to book, Shaz? The faux silk painting one. Okay, I was just cutting off the fluff there. Alright, so my plan is to do a cute little slimline album. That's going to have 4 pages, but then each there's going to be like sections. So in actual fact, it's going to have 12 pages, but it's going to be stuck in a row all the way down. That's my plan. And what I have done is I've pulled out various papers that go with the colours that I used yesterday. So if you missed yesterday's stamping, I took inspiration from some of the DSP that Stampin' Up are selling currently, and I used the colour scheme from that and created this. And so I've pulled out, so I used cloud cover ink, and I've got some cloud cover paper here. And then this is a retired piece from a few years ago. It was that Father Christmas Santa St. Nicholas paper. So that's Old Olive that picks up that there. And this is really old Blackberry BLiss, from when Blackberry BLiss was an in colour, I think, years and years ago. I just really like that kind of vintage look. That's completely wrong colour. Yes, actually, this was when Lost Lagoon and Blackberry BLiss were in colours years and years ago. And then I've got this plain bit of Blackberry BLiss, which I think just about goes there. So my plan was to use all those gorgeous DSPs, and as you can see, quite kind of plain tone on tone patterns with this. So so that's the plan. Now, do I want to cover? I'm thinking of using just that to create my little book. That would be all right, wouldn't it? Right, trim her back again then. So if I cut this to 25. Right, it's about there. I'll stick my nail in. Really technical. Hello, Patricia. Yeah, really vintage vibe, real vintage vibe from yesterday. That colour scheme. Loved it. Really enjoyed it. It was kind of quite unexpected, really. Because when I first looked at those colours, I didn't anticipate that coming through, but it looked good. Oh, Karen, no worries. I can send you some pickies. You missed out on a really good one. I could have imagined you and Janice battling it out for that pair of earrings. Oh, I don't need it to be that wide. What did I do that for? Oh well. I could cut it down, I guess, because I don't need that much. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? You know what, I'm just going to cut 3 centimetres off. I can always use that panel for something, can't I? I don't want to use up anything that I can use later. Okay. Just trying to get my glue to go down. Right. So welcome if you're new to my channel. My name's Ruth. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. And I love creating my own patterned papers. I love inspiring people to have a go themselves. It gives me such joy when people get the confidence to create. Hello, Miss Susan. Oh, you like the ones I had on yesterday? Were they the white ones with the danglies? The cloisonne bead. Yeah. I'm feeling inspired to make a bit more jewellery actually. I go through phases. They may have had a little bit of green on them, yeah. Maybe the bottom bead at the end of the chain had green on it, I think. Yeah. So if you're new, again, hello and welcome. If you are wondering who on earth I'm talking to, this is a live stream. So if you're watching this on the replay, I'm talking to the different folk that are watching live. And we've got quite a community of people going on here. I've been doing live streams for about 10 years now. Oh no, not 10 years. My YouTube channel is about 10 years old. I've been doing lives for about 6 or 7 years. Where's my bone folder? Got it. Alright, so I like to just run my bone folder round the edge of the grey board. So I'm making a mini book. I like to run it round there just to help tell the paper what's going to happen. Okay, it's a bit like a child really, you know, when a child is, you're about to leave the house and you're like, okay, we're leaving in 5 minutes, you need to get ready, put your boots on, you know, that kind of thing. Sometimes you have to do that with paper as well, you know, just tell the paper what's happening. Hello, Miss Lisa. Yes, brand new products have landed in the Stampin' Up store. So if you're new to Stampin' Up products, I am using them currently. This paper is a Stampin' Up product, and like any company, they're always coming out with new things. Doesn't mean you have to buy all the stuff. You just buy the stuff that you want, you enjoy using. And it's my job as a Stampin' Up demonstrator just to show you what is available, what your choices are, what the colours are. And, you know, it's not my job to sell you every single item in the catalogue. Oh no. But it is my job to try and show you how to use the products and get the best results from whatever it is that you purchase. So if you do purchase from me via my online store, then and you have any issues with your product, or you need some help, then it's my role to just help you navigate that. So I'm contactable via email, ruthtrice@gmail.com, or you can find me on Facebook. You can direct message me through my Facebook page, Artful Stampin. So, and people do, you know, sometimes I get messages about, you know, how to stamp better, or about different things. Okay, so as you can see, I just stuck the top and the bottom towards the inside, and I've just made sure that that's really stuck on well. And then I got my bone folder and I did a little manipulation there, just again to make sure that the paper knows what it's doing for when I fold it over. Hello, Miss Deborah. Lovely to see you. Hi, Lisa. Hello, hello. But I want it all, says Vicky. Vicky, you can't fit it all in your craft room. Sorry to say. What was that, Karen, about getting a collection only? I didn't understand that, Karen. Explain that, please. Alright, so I'm using Tombow glue. I've used a couple of different glues on for bookmaking, and I have to say I don't mind using Tombow whatsoever. It's pretty good stuff. Right, so I'm just using my bone folder just to do very, very gentle little rub of the paper at the top and the bottom on the where the spine is, again to kind of tell the paper what I want it to do, and I'm making sure that that is really well stuck down before I attempt to do a little fold like that. A little fold there, okay, and there you have, that's the cover done. And then what I'm going to do is stick a panel on the inside as well. And what shall I do? What colour shall I do? I don't know whether to actually just see if I've got some crushed curry paper from a few years ago, because I think I quite like the contrast. Now, funny enough, on the other side is dark green and yellow, which doesn't look terrible, but I think it might clash a little bit. What do you think? Or shall I just go for it? Go clashy. No, I prefer the yellow. It's a bit more subtle. I might use the other bit, that in the inside, but I think for this bit I'm going to use... Right, what does that measure? That's what I need to figure out. So that measures, it's about 17 centimetres across. So I know it's 20 centimetres high. So if I cut this at, I get away with 16. And 16 basically is just the end of my trimmer there. And then cut this at 19. That should fit. Then I've got a little scrappy bit left over for decorating later. Don't get rid of your little scrap strips. You can use those. No clashing tonight, please. Talk about buying only what you want. I wish I could. I went on to Stampin Up just after midnight to order the new March exclusives. They were sold out before they even went live. The demos got it all. Rude. How dare they, Cheryl? Ooh. Oh, you're getting quite a collection of my earrings. Yes, you are. Well, you know the answer to that then, Cheryl, don't you? You need to go and kidnap a demonstrator. Yeah, it's really hard for them to predict, to be fair. I don't know if you've ever been in any kind of retail industry. It is so hard to predict what's the word? Forecasting. Stampin' Up actually do a lot of work around forecasting. I don't know if you know this, but they actually send out surveys and things to try and figure out, you know, what the buying habits are going to be like, and they do try to make sure that things are in stock, you know, enough things are ordered, but sometimes some products just take them by surprise. and more people suddenly go, yep, we all want it. So yeah, apologies on behalf of the company, but so yeah, unfortunately it just happens sometimes. But hang in there. Make sure that you pop your email. So when you go to a product, and if it's out of stock, what you can do is you can pop your email in there to be notified when it comes into stock. So you know, just like, you know, you may go to a store and something, you know, things get sold out, or supermarket. Unfortunately, it does happen with Stampin' Up, and it doesn't make kind of business sense for them to stock absolutely everything in multiple quantities, just in case more people order. So yeah, sorry about that, Cheryl. I hope it will come back into stock for you very soon. Right, so I've stuck that down. I quite like that yellow. It's quite nice, isn't it? I like the contrast of that. Oh, Deborah, you finally have results for the pain in your left knee, osteoarthritis. Next step is to see the specialist, decide on treatment. Ugh. Now, funny enough, my mother-in-law's been diagnosed with osteoarthritis, and her consultant said, go and get your teeth done. Now, the reason she said that was because apparently, once you start if you start on medication, it makes your teeth, I don't know if it makes your teeth more brittle or if it makes it more tricky to have treatment. Something like that. Please don't quote me on it. I'm not a medic, but I just remember her saying, I've got to go and get my teeth done. So, right. So I think I might go for, should I go for, I was going to go for dark cardstock on the inside. I don't know whether just to muddle it up a little bit, have a whole combination of different kind of colours. Oh, what is that? What is that? Left over from something. I might be able to make use of that if it's the right size. Ooh, okay, so I could use that there, that there, that there. Ooh, ooh. Okay, let's just cut that down the score mark, because I actually want these scores. I was going to say these scores are in the right place, but the unfortunately, because I've already scored it, the blade is not happy. Right, let's use this other little trimmer for a second. Let's see if I can do that without damaging anything else, because I've just hacked away at that. Okay, yeah, so I want to have a little 1/2 centimetre, what's the word here? Margin, gusset. What's the word I want? And then I wanted this panel to measure 6 centimetres. So do that. Okay. Cut that at 6. On. Oh well, this is a good way to use up scraps because you don't need huge amounts. So what I'm doing is I've got my square panel here, and then I've got a margin that's going to be stuck into my book. That's how I'm going to stick my page in. So there we go. There we go. Right. Let's sort this side out as well. So I'm just going to place that in again at 6 centimetres. And take that and cut that at 6.5 because that's already got the fold in there. So I may as well make use of this scrap that was in my drawer. 6 by 6, and then again I've got another little panel here that I could make use of, so I may as well do that. here quite likes making little mini albums. I know a few of you do because you've been to my classes. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I actually just need 12 in total anyway. So let's see what other scrappy bits I can find. So I've got any crushed curry happening. Ooh. What does that measure? Oh, that measures exactly. Oh, I could do it that way though, couldn't I? I was thinking I couldn't do it then. Oh, maybe. All right, so I'm gonna have to swap what's in the jigs because I need to use my score blade. Oh, guys, I need to tell you what happened today. So funny, so bizarre, so funny, so providential. Right. So a few weeks ago, I can't even remember when I did it. I googled Welsh Pool High School because I wanted to go onto their website and find out more about their sixth form provision for May, because potentially she would be starting sixth form all year. What's that? Year 12, 13 here in the UK. And I filled in there was a form, like a sixth form application form, so I filled it in. Anyway, about a week or so later, or I can't quite remember the timeline, I got this email saying, yes, we'd love to show May around, if you can come on this date at 3:30. The sixth formers will come and meet you at the reception and come and take you around, and you'll meet the head teacher and blah blah blah. So I was like, oh great, fantastic, that's easy. So so May was all, we were all ready to go. We went to school. And we're really fortunate. We actually live quite close to the high school, so not too much bother. Anyway, went to reception and just said, "Oh yeah, we're here for, to see the sixth form. We've got an appointment. Apparently, some sixth formers are going to come and meet us." So we sat in reception for about, must have been a good 10-15 minutes. All these kids are trooping out because it's like 3:30, and then I was thinking, maybe, I don't know what's going on here really, because nobody's come to meet us. So then this teacher comes up to us and says, oh, hello, who is it that you're supposed to be meeting? And I said, oh, we were told that, some sixth formers were going to come meet us. And she said, well, who did you get the letter from or email from? And I said, oh, it's from this guy. And I said who it was, and I said apparently he's the deputy head of sixth form. And she went, oh, she goes, well, that's a bit strange because I'm the head of sixth form and I don't have a deputy. I was like, oh, that's a bit odd. So I showed her the email, and then I read my email and I realised that it said not Welsh Pool High School but Wales High School. Okay. And I basically made an appointment for May to go and have a look around a sixth form that wasn't in Welsh Pool at all, and it wasn't even in Wales. It's in Sheffield. I'm like, oh, I don't quite know how that happened. Anyway, so then she said, oh, it's okay. She goes, I said, well, have you got any time now? And she said, yeah, it's fine. I'll show you around and we can have a bit of a chat and whatever. So basically I had to kind of explain May's situation, that she's home educated and she's planning to do these examinations and these are the subjects that she's wanting to do, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, fortunately, she did have time to show us around, and we even... Now, just please remember, all my children, all my boys went to the high school, so I know a lot of the teachers already, and the the teachers are, you know, familiar with my boys. And so we went to the maths department, saw the teacher that taught all my boys at A level, and just said, oh, hello, you know, May's thinking of coming, and is there any kind of work that she needs to kind of brush up on before she starts doing A levels? Anyway, then another teacher piped up and said, oh, there's this website that she can go on, and blah blah. So that was really helpful. Anyway, then she took us up to the art department, and just so happened Jaden's art teacher was there, and so I had told May to pack a few like art books of hers, like sketchbooks of hers, and she showed the art teacher her sketchbooks, and the art teacher was really pleased, like was really quite impressed with her work. Because this was the art teacher. I don't know if you guys remembered from a few years ago when I had parent-teacher meetings with Jaden's art teacher, and she got very upset that I kept buying him alcohol pens from Stampin Up, because whenever Stampin Up would have a sale, I'd buy Jaden more alcohol pens, and she was like, I wish you'd stop using those blooming alcohol pens. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, I've just bought him a whole set for Christmas. Anyway, it was that teacher. And then she said, oh, actually, I've got Jaden's art books here if you want to take them home with you. I was like, yeah, sure. So I managed to do that. And yeah, so I think we can safely say that May's probably going to be okay to do art. And if she gets good grades in maths, she'll be fine to do maths. And we've just got to speak to an English teacher now. And then, of course, she's got to pass her exams. So, right, I've got a little bit of this to cut up, and I've got some of these. So I've cut a whole load here because I have got 24 sides to fill, because I've got three rows, 4 times 4 pages, so that's 12, times 2 sides, that's 24. I don't even know how many I've cut here, but hopefully that'll be plenty. And then I thought I'd cut a few more from this paper, and then I've got plenty more to do a bit of decorating if I want to, and also I want to cut up the stamp sheet that I did the other day. So there we go. Right, I can see in the comments you're discussing people getting knockoffs of Stampin' Up products. Please don't do it. Don't be tempted to do that. They're usually very inferior quality, and they are usually a different size. So although you may have the imagery, they are very much a different size, and you're robbing us hardworking demonstrators of earning any pennies. I know it can be very tempting, because Stampin' Up products are at the higher end of the price range. However, Stampin' Up do offer the Stampin' rewards every time you shop, so you get 10% back. Also, they do offer, anybody can become a demonstrator and immediately get a discount. But I would advise, suggest, encourage, whatever way you want to see it, that actually just think a bit more carefully about purchases. Don't be in a rush just to buy something because you see your favourite influencer use it, like me. But really think about if you're going to use the products, because I think, as in general, in the West, we suffer from consumerism and just buying things because we can get it, and then ending up with things on the shelf that we don't actually use. And I, for one, am trying to be a bit more mindful in just buying less, you know, and just really loving what I buy. And that is why partly I have this channel, so that you can make more informed decisions about your buying. So there we go, I've said my 2 pence on that. All right, so I've cut a whole load of stuff here. I'm nearly ready to start sticking. It's going to be a very interesting process because I've not actually done one of these before. I'm probably going to not start sticking in my book just yet, but what I'm going to do is just have a quick think about the layout of my my little wee book. Now, do I want to do it colour by colour by colour in terms of the pages? I think I may do, because it's just nice and organised for my brain, seeing as we've got so much pattern to contend with. So let's do that. I'm just going to lay that all out. Actually, no, that will be the front page. So let me just flip that over a second. Have it going that way, that way, that way, that way, that way. And then that one actually is going to be that way because I'm going to stick it in reversed like that. Am I going to stick it that way? Anyway, yeah, I usually reverse it because I don't like it to show. All right, so front cover. Now, let's go back to the whole reason for this whole album is this beautiful paper here that I stamped yesterday, and using this as a design. Now, I could potentially have that showing on the front of every single page, or I could perhaps alternate it. I don't know. I could go one, two, you know, do it alternated. Actually, I think I might just do that. It would just make my life a bit easier. So in order to fit that into this panel here, so this measures 5.5 by 5.5. So if I cut this down to, if I cut 15, then that, no, 25. Well, actually, I could flip it that way. But, okay, let's have a think. All right, so if I cut this down, 5, 5, 5, 5, because I've got 4 pages theoretically. I've got that to maybe put on the front cover. That would be lovely. All right, so I'm just going to stack those up so that I don't get confused. So let's just start. Now, do I want to start? Yeah, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Okay, so 1. Oh, I've just realised something. I didn't need to cut. I didn't need to cut as many, did I? All right, I'm just going to keep going. I can't backtrack. I didn't have to cut that extra row. That's what I'm realising. But anyway, all right, I'll save that for later. So that is now going to go there, and then that one's going to go underneath, and then that one's going to go there. Okay. Right. 1, 2, 3. Ugh, I'm missing out on those pretty flower, that big peachy one. Never mind. It's going to show up now. Yeah, so May in the end was actually quite pleased because I think she was a bit apprehensive about bumping into a whole load of 6 swarmers on her first visit. So it'll be fine. See, I've got that spare one. I don't know whether just to use those little pieces and just jumble it up now and not worry about it. Because no one's going to try and piece it together once it's all stuck down, are they? Are they? No one's going to do that to me, are they? Go, oh, she just did it out of order. yeah, no, it's all right. It's all right. Because I've just remembered, yes, I was going to stick those on there. I was like, oh, I've done them too small, but no, I haven't. I was going to stick those on there. I forgot. Okay, that's all good. All right, that one's going to go behind. That one's going to go behind. All right, now I've got a feeling that actually might be the perfect size to go on the front. Oh, look at that. Oh, yeah, I planned it. I planned it so well. Look at that. Look at that. What do you mean they're not as crisp, Judy? Do you mean the photopolymer? What, as in they're not stamping as well? Is that what you mean? Oh, I haven't noticed that. I do sometimes think if you're using super juicy ink pads, you just need to be mindful. Don't know if that could be it. All right, so now I'm going to have fun just choosing the different DSP that's going to make my little stamped DSP sing, okay? So what I mean is I'm going to look at the colours that are in the stamped panel that I've done and match it with the DSP that I think is going to show it off for the best. So I'm not going to have a pattern to this. I'm just going to take each individual square as it comes and see what happens. Because I've got my little pattern already going, so I don't need to over worry about that. Okay, so this one, ooh, I think you see, like, I haven't got any green on that one, so I think if I put green behind it, it will just might make it pop. Right, I don't know how long it's going to take me to do this. I knew it's going to be a little bit time consuming, but I think it's going to be worth it. I've never attempted one of these before. So, right, that one's going to go on the inside. So, ooh, I could pick any one really. Give a bit purple. Maybe blue again, I don't know. I think the purple. Oh, you mean, yeah, just not as... Yeah, I do think it depends on the stamp. Sometimes it could be, and I'm not saying this is definitely what you're doing, but just be aware that especially with those really fine detailed stamps, that you're not over pushing, because they're photopolymer. If they get pushed a little bit too hard, the squidginess kind of like splays a bit, and the image can lose its kind of crispness. I don't know if you've seen me talk about it when we're using like very fine detailed sentiment stamps. That can happen. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Oh, the Delicate Dream Suite is so pretty, isn't it? It is very, very pretty. Did you get the dies as well, Vicky? Right, so green looked good on that one. Ooh, what should we go for with this one? I did purple on the last one. Might do purple again. Do purple again. But I feel like I should do something a bit different. Could do green because it's going to be on the other side, so it's not going to be obvious that I've done the same again. So So be honest, do you think that actually I've this project doesn't actually suit the paper that I stamped? Because I've got some massive flowers here and you can't actually see the giant flowers because I've cut them up. Would you have done the same as me, or would you have gone for a bigger project? Oh, I'll tell you what colour I haven't got here in DSP is a peachy colour. Oh well, too late. It's too late now. I've got loads of paper that I've got here now. So. I really wanted the cutest crew, but the dies are still out of stock. Oh, okay. I'm working on a double scrapbook layout using Painted Illusions and the Capturing Smiles bundle. Oh, nice. I got all my cards cut out for Denise's class by Google. Oh, you're doing Denise Winnerton's class. Oh, fab. Yes, she's using Google Classrooms, I think. Yeah. Yep. Oh, we'll have lots of fun. I think it's the first time she's done a Zoom class. And the timing probably works well for you, Deborah, doesn't it? Sorry, not Deborah. Judy. Of course it works well for you because you're that side of the world. It would actually work well for South Pacificas. Right, I'm determined to use some of this cloud cover again. That looks nice. Hello, Janice. I posted your earrings today. After I took some nice pickies. I'll be showing that on Insta at some point. I've realised that I haven't actually been sharing my jewellery as much as I should. You love the new March product of the month. It is very sweet. It's a very sweet, sweet stamp set. Yeah. It, if anyone's not seen it yet, you need to go to the website, Stampin' Up website, to have a look at product of the month. So Stampin' Up are not doing celebration anymore. They're doing product of the month, which can be purchased for $5. And I think the threshold is slightly higher this month. But if you were placing an order anyway, it kind of makes it worth it. Because you're getting, you know, like a $20 stamp set for $5. You know, if you weren't planning to place an order this month, then, you know, probably won't apply to you. But often the products of the month are running over to following months, so you have a choice, but you can only choose a product once a month, not... So if you place 2 orders in the month, you can't have 2. Okay, nearly there. Well, nearly there with some of it. So I've got those ones to stick on, that one to stick on. Let's go for a bit of purple, I think. Where do I want to go? Oh, I might go for a bit of yellow actually, because I haven't got any yellow on this. There, that looks nice. Hello, is it Jessica Passion? Is it Jess? Oh, I can't remember your name. But I did see you pop up in someone else's live, and I thought, I'm determined to remember her name. I thought it was Jess, but I could get that wrong. I could have got that wrong. They would, Vicky. Yeah, this would be a really good one for little Bible verses. Right, what colour could we go for that one? Hi, Miss Bev. Yes, it is Jessica. I did get that right. Yay. Not so muddy today, Bev. Was it you that was having to wash your dog yesterday? Oh, Shaz, how are all your doggies? Thank you. I am wondering whether to do more yellow or just to not worry about it too much. No. Still got all the other bits of paper to stick on the other panels, so it's okay. Right, so that one goes that way. So now I've got to take my spare bits here. So I think that might look nice on there. Right there. Could do a bit of that, but still not quite convinced that would work. Well, I don't know whether just to do that. There and there. Right, what time are we on? Oh, nearly an hour. Well, we might get this done in, I don't know, the next 20 minutes or so. Are you, Lisa, are you away from home working this week? On the road. Did I read that right? Okay. I'm going to flip these all over. I feel like I'm playing a card game. Go yellow and yellow. Okay, that'll do. That'll do. I wish I could just clip my fingers and they will be stuck down. Afraid. This is real time, people. Years ago I used to worry about videos taking lots of time. But I've come to realise, you know what? There's always the fast forward button. if you're watching this on replay. Who's been a demo long enough to remember that the purple paper, this paper? I seem to remember that there was a stamp set that went with it that had a kind of milk churn. It was very cute. I never bought it myself, I just bought the papers. So. Oh, thanks, Gina. I'm pretty speedy. Yeah, when I stamp, I think I look like I'm on 1.5 speed or something when I get going. Alright, okay, that's all done. Now obviously I could add more decoration and thing to it, but I don't want to do that right now. So what I've got to figure out is how on earth to stick this in straight and with all the measurement separations that I had planned. So I had planned that these would sit like so, with a gap either side, and then also with the same gap going down. So let's see if that does work. Just about. I mean, I could just stick it right on the edge of that paper there. That would help me line it up, actually. If I did that and then just stuck that in the middle. Okay, let's just do it. Let's just do it. Oh, that's good, Shaz. It's sitting there waiting for you to get better and to have a play. Right, I need to find my bone folder. Oh, does anyone watch The Apprentice in the UK? The UK Apprentice. We were watching it this evening. They had their task this time was to buy flowers, arrange flowers and sell flowers, and then also do a corporate arrangement. I was hiding behind my cushion. Well, I actually was hiding behind my jumper for half of it. I was like, no, what are you doing? That was so funny. I won't tell you what happened. All I can say, it's cringy entertaining. It's like car crash TV. It's like, ah, no, I can't believe they just did that. Alright, so I stuck top and bottom, and the reason I stuck top and bottom is because it's very easy to place in the middle once you've stuck the top and the bottom. It's much easier. So this has to line up at the side. I'll just double check that with my ruler. Yep, all good. And then I think that's fine there. I just saw that move a little bit. That's okay. Right, there we go. Right, so open that up. We're going to stick the next lot. So what I'm going to do is have this folded in, and then that is going to get stuck right next to there, like that. It's a very thin layer of glue. Place that next to it. And I'm following that line of where I stuck the liner. Oh no, I'll do this one. Getting there, we're getting there. We're cooking on gas. Okay, next. I'm just folding these backwards and forwards because I want them to be quite, what's the word I want? Flexible. Ah, now, I had actually decided I was going to stick this one in first. Just remove that a second. I'm going to stick that there first because I want it to go blue, yellow, blue, yellow. I don't want it to go blue, yellow, blue. So let's get that moved in first. And I'm going to leave the tiniest amount of a gap there, a real slither of a gap. Right, then stick this one on. Right, on top of there. There we go. Did you say the measurements? Yeah, I did. I did them in centimetres though. I can talk through the the inches, potential inches measurements afterwards. So, okay, let's do that again. This time not forgetting. Okay, so that's going to go in there. One's going to go over the top. Actually, I might do that one in a minute. I'll just do this one first and then just give that time to dry a bit. I know plenty of people who they'll watch me live and then they'll go and watch the replay because they can't concentrate on the chat and concentrate on what I'm doing at the same time. And when people are super chatty, it's like they want to, you want to be involved in the conversation, so that's fine. That's okay. You can fast forward me to the important bits then on the replay. Oh no! What? Did you see that bug land on there? And then I just swiped it and it's like stained my work. Oh, that's just so naughty. Naughty bug. Now I've got bug guts on it. Ugh. Like I didn't have time to register what it was, and I just went. Right. If I give this away to anybody, don't tell them, please. That's very cheeky. You're playing yarn chicken. Oh. What are you making at the moment then, Janice? Ooh, socks. Ooh, I picked up a whole load of yarn today actually in the charity shop. So one of the charity shops in town, they don't price up their yarn, they just ask for a donation. I love it. And on the box it says, suggest a donation, 50p a ball. So that's what I give. But I did actually give a little bit extra because I thought that was a bit cheeky, because I picked up like something like 7 or 8 full balls still with their sleeves on. So yeah, right, okay, so we've got the structure kind of done, and I deliberately gave myself just a little bit extra on the spacing here. So this measures 7 centimeters across, and I've made my pages 6 because I thought I might be putting some little tabs. I may do that, some little bits that stick out, or ribbons and things. So I deliberately gave that spacing. Right. All right. So at the moment, that's how it looks. So you open it up, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. There, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if anyone wants to do this as a workshop, I'm happy to teach the whole, you know, the stamping. But what I'll probably ask you to do is like pre-prepare all the bits and pieces before you come to class. Okay, so I think it would be nice to have that on the front cover. So let me just double check what I've got left over. So I've got bits of that left. I'm thinking the green is probably going to be a nice contrast to have there. Now this book is a murder mystery. Yep. Who killed the fly and in which room? Right, so it measures 20 centimeters long, so it's about 8 inches. So if I cut this at 18, because it's 7 centimeters wide, so I'm taking off 2 centimeters on both sides. So yeah, so if in inches, this is about 2 3/4 inches by 8. 14.5. No, I want the yellow at the top. I just fancy the yellow at the top. Oh, that's perfect. Look at that. That works really nice. Watching with no sound as I read the comments takes on a whole new meaning. Did you hear about oh, so Lisa's probably not heard what I said about the little bug then, did she? That's funny. Right, I feel that I could probably put something on the inside there, couldn't I? Almost feels a little like these inside bits are a bit boring. Could have, I don't know if I've got space for, I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think I should put something else on the inside? I do feel like I want to decorate some of these pages. Oh yeah, that was a hoot last week with the emoji debacle. So I went live and no one could chat in the chat. They could only use emojis at one point. So this is handy. I've got, just so happen to have a few little strips, look at this, that will fit perfectly into little areas. So what have I got? So remember I did say don't throw away any of your strips. That's for later. I'm just putting aside all my big pieces and just seeing what I've got here. There we go, look. That's kind of cool. You don't speak emoji. I love that yellow paper. It looks like fabric. Yeah. It was from do you remember the daffodil paper from a few years ago? I've got a feeling it was like a celebration paper, but I could be wrong. I do like to show you that I do hoard paper. You know, I'm just like all of you. I do hoard paper, especially paper I like. You know, because I store it ready. I lovingly curate it until its time is ready, you know, when the paper's time has come to be used on a project and it's just, you know, the perfect thing, and then it fulfills its destiny. That's it. So my paper is waiting for their destinies to be fulfilled. That's the way we got to phrase it. Paper and waiting, that's what it is. Paper and waiting. Just feel like I don't want to chop that up. I quite like seeing that the middle there. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. Anyway, I'll leave it for now. Right, I've got these other little kind of covery bits. Oh, let's stick that on there. Oh, night, Karen. Take care. Thank you for hanging out with us. What's the time? Yeah, nearly 1 hour 20. I did say it would be about that, didn't I? Right, this one could do with a bit of something. Oh, got a bit of green there. Dave is on a fly hunt. Can you hear it? Did he not hear the one that landed on mine? See, Dave would approve of my bug bashing, I'm sure. And what attire? Is he in his fly swatting attire, Shaz? Okay, so that one needs a little something something. Just to do a bit more purple. Dave's going on a bug hunt, fly hunt. It's not here. It must be in the bathroom. Splish splash, splish splash. Uh-oh. Dave is going on a fly hunt. Must be in the kitchen. Oh, his birthday suit, no doubt. Now, there must be one other little narrow strip. There must be. Because I've only used two, 1, 2. There must be one more because I've cut three bits. Right, that's for the front. That's another spare bit, because that's the bit that's come off the front. Must be here somewhere. Oh, there it is. I knew there was one more. There we go, that one can go there. See? All the pieces are getting used. So all that we have left of that stamped piece is that big bit there that can be used. Oh my days, this morning he got sent flying by the sheep, became covered in mud with a scraped knee. I cried laughing. Sympathetic wife. Now, do I want to have a ribbon around this to tie it, because it's not behaving itself. think one ribbon is fine, isn't it? Now, I don't seem to have any Blackberry BLiss ribbon, but I do have some of this. But I'm just going to test it, because sometimes these ribbons are not very robust, and when they start rubbing against each other, because, you know, they get tied and untied, some of them fray. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a test. And see if anything comes undone. Okay, let's see. Okay, that's the worst that will happen. That. What do you think? Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's forgivable? I think that's not too bad. The reason I do it is because years ago when we had some ribbon, the edge unfrayed. So I'm just slightly cautious about it now. Okay, so Lisa, were you here when I was saying about the class on Friday? You're the only one booked on, darling. So I may have to, well, I'd like to postpone it because I may have a meeting on Friday that I need to attend anyway, and I can't really make the excuse that I've got a class when I've only got one person booked on, even though you are super duper important. But I'd rather run the class with a few more people. Hello, Jane. You're missing all the drama. Shaz's husband is running around the bedroom with trying to catch a fly. Oh, okay. No worries, Shaz. I'll message her. Okay, right. I think I'm going to stop there for tonight. Turn that around, swiveled that, but that's all right. It's not stuck. So there we go. We've made this. I don't know what you describe this as. 3-panelled pages. I don't know. Ruth is cancelling you, Lisa. You're going to have to explain more than that. Just going to wonder what's going on. So we've got 3 sections, and you've got 4 little pages to each section, like that. And I made it using the pretty stamped paper from yesterday. I still do feel like this should have something in it, like maybe something that opens up. Anyway, I'm not going to do it now. So thank you, Judy, thank you. It is quite cute, isn't it? And I like sometimes doing something a bit unusual shape. So there we go. Right, so if you enjoyed watching me do this, and if you're interested in me running a class based on this, please do let me know, because I'm always on the lookout for new class ideas, because I haven't really scheduled very many coming up, so I'd like a new one to do. So so thanks for joining, everybody. I don't know what to say about products really, because I used quite a few bits of retired DSP, but the cloud cover paper, this is current if you quite like it. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Judy did the polite version, yes. And then if you want to see how I stamp that paper, it's from yesterday's video, so I'll pop that in a link in the description of this video if you want to see how I did that. It was super useful to have obviously a scorer and trimmer, score and cutting. What am I saying? A trimmer that scores and cuts. Ugh, right, my brain. And what else? Scissors are useful, bone folder is useful, and glue. There we go. To construct that. There we go. Oh, right, lovely to see you all. Make my table look nice. For my parting shot to you. There we go. Might do this as my screenshot. Always forget to have a nice screenshot. I have to go and. There we go. How cute is that? Is the cloud cover DSP the new online exclusive? No, it's not. It's the in colour, the 6x6 in colour pad. Yeah, but you could probably use it if it's got cloud cover in it, because I use cloud cover in my stamping. So there we go. Thank you, Bev. Right, lots of love. She still loves you, Lisa. There was talk of the Ruth class using a stamp set, but can't remember which one. Is that still a chance? Oh, is that the... which stamp set was it? One of the new ones. Is it that one, Lisa? Thank you, Vicky. Or were we talking about that one? Were we talking about a wreath to album class, Lisa? I don't know if Lisa can hear me now. I'll message Lisa and find out. Alright, lovelies. Yeah, I'm happy to do another wreath to album class. I'd love to do one of those again. So, right, take care everyone. See you for now. Bye.